Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am your reporter for today. I am King Ari Balatbat, and today we are going to talk about how can teachers cope up with students who have ADHD or teaching strategies in order for them to handle them better inside the classroom. So, first and foremost, as teachers, we should make sure that they are diagnosed with ADHD. So, how can we spot a student with ADHD? Well, the science is that students with ADHD are easily distracted, have difficulty following instructions, has trouble being organized, fidgeting, and sometimes excessive running, or has trouble sitting in one place, and they are also impatient. But then again, uh, we cannot say that a student has ADHD if he or she has these traits. He or she must first be diagnosed by a pediatrician, psychiatrist, school or clinical psychologist in order for them to be qualified as a student who have ADHD. So, that's the first step. You should know if he or she has ADHD in order for you to be able to tackle the things that you need to do and handle them better inside the classroom. So the first coping mechanism or teaching strategy that we are going to talk about is that we should limit distractions, or we should limit the things that could distract a student with ADHD, such as letting them sit in the front row, or you as a teacher, you should let them sit in front of you in order for you to be able to address the needs of the student with ADHD and uh, keep them away from places where they can be easily distracted, such as doors, windows, and any other areas that is prone of distraction. And you could also assign a seatmate to sit beside him or her that has a behaved attitude, which is called positive peer influence, so that the positive or the good behavior of his or her seatmate will influence the behavior of the student with ADHD. And another thing is that we should allow movement. That is our second teaching strategy. We should allow movement instead of totally limiting the movement of a student with ADHD, uh, such as creating reasons for them to move around the classroom, like or asking them to erase the writings on the board, or for him or her to fetch some water for them to drink, or simply letting them go to the bathroom. That way, you are lessening that urge inside of them to move around by uh, by letting them move around with a purpose, not only to cause distraction. And also inside the classroom, have you ever heard of fidget toys or stress balls? You can let them use those toys inside the classroom because they do not cause noise or any big bold movements that could distract other students inside the classroom. Therefore, again, lessening the tension or that urge in order for them to move around the classroom and distract every students. So our third coping mechanism or teaching strategy is that allow them to have breaks, like mini breaks. Since they have shorter attention span, uh, giving them time to have mini breaks, it releases the tension or the urge for them to move with no context. Therefore, they can have a break for themselves where they can move, or they are allowed to move freely in order to release that urge or tension for them to move in a very destructive way from other students. It also gives them time to regain their focus so that when they come back to the lessons, they are more engaged and more ready to listen to the discussion. It can be as simple as bathroom breaks, water breaks, or just letting them walk around the classroom to limber up or stretch their bodies, Also, you can be creative and do it with a purpose, like collecting worksheets from their, letting them collect the worksheet of their classmates, or uh, ordering them to do classroom errands that gets them from point A to point B, in order for them to move with a purpose rather than moving that can distract other students. And for our fourth strategy, we should help them be organized simply by getting them to have a checklist or reminder notes in order for them to keep track of the things that they should do and the things that they have already done. That way, not only will it keep them organized, it will also help them get easily get back from the things that they are doing if ever they get distracted, because they have limited attention span and they get easily distracted. So that way, if ever they get distracted, they can easily get back on track by viewing their checklist or their reminders. Also, you as a teacher should organize um, tasks such as activities and assessments, but avoid prolonged activities and assessment, because as we all know, students with ADHD tends to have a difficulty in focusing and uh, dealing with tasks on a very long period of time. That's why you should organize short time assessments and activities instead of doing it all at once in a very long period of time. Do short time activities and assessment frequently in order to make up for the time of the activities. That way, your students with ADHD can cope up or keep up much better, because it does not overload them with work, and their attention span can deal with the short time assessment and activities. And last but surely not the least, teaching strategy is that we should bear with them. We should accept that and understand that they may and will require a little more attention and effort in order for us to be able to support and give them the learning that they need. And as teachers, we should not only endure but also accept that we as teachers have this responsibility to inculcate the learning experience to our students, even though uh, just like in this case they have ADHD. Yeah, it may seem difficult, but as teacher, it is our responsibility to still uh, share that knowledge with them, even though it will require a little bit of effort rather than regular students, because that is our job as teachers. And that should not hinder us or stress us, because if teaching is inside you, is if teaching is your passion, no task is hard, or no task may seem impossible, because there is always a way to get through things. You should be creative or innovative enough and clever enough to think of ways in order to tackle and cope up with the situations of your students. And that is a quality of an effective teacher. And we as teachers and as future teachers should all be effective teachers. That's what we should aim for. And again, a bonus tip: um, we should build a positive relation, not only with student with ADHD but also to every student. This will work because students will feel much safer and much open in learning from you, and you learning from them, if you have a positive relationship with your students. Um, to establish a positive relationship, you can encourage them by supporting them or giving them positive feedbacks, especially with students with ADHD. they tend to put a little bit more effort if you give them positive feedbacks, because they can see that they are doing things in the right way, or they are on the right track. Uh, Positive feedbacks as simple as you're doing good job, or uh, that is a nice work. It not only gives them a positive feedback, but also it gives them that sense of fulfillment that they are doing something good, and as well as building that positive connection between you and that student. Instead of reprimanding them, we should choose our words wisely and inline them with positivity. Instead of when a student with ADHD has done something wrong, or have been showing negative attitude, instead of reprimanding them with no, that's a bad attitude you're doing. Instead, use it in a positive way, or like saying, uh, "Oh, do you think that how you acted is right or wrong?" That way, you are giving them the time to realize and ponder with their actions, in order for them to have initiative, that they should be more aware of how they act inside the classroom. Not only students with ADHD, but all students. In order for them to realize that they should act accordingly, in order for you and for them, and with their other students to get along, they should act the right way, with manners and with love. And that's all for our report today. Again, I'm King Ari Balatbat. Thank you for listening. God bless.